Hey there, fellow travelers. Welcome back to the Destinations channel. I'm Sal Pitera, and today we're going to talk about marijuana and smoking in general and the new policies that Carnival Cruise Lines has adapted, and we're going to talk about them when I come back right after this. Welcome back. Thanks for staying through the intro. And as always, if you're new to our channel, please make sure you click the subscribe button and the little bell notification. That way YouTube will let you know every time we upload a brand new video. Now today we're going to talk about smoking on board Carnival cruise ships and their newest policy and enforcement of smoking marijuana on board a cruise ship. But we're also going to talk about smoking in general. Now, if you know me, you know that I am against smoking in any form. It doesn't make a difference what type of smoking you smoke. For me, it's just not an option. Dad, this is supposed to be a voiceover. Okay, obviously, I'm not really against smoking. I do smoke cigars myself. In full disclosure, I don't smoke marijuana. But that doesn't mean a lot of people here in the United States don't smoke marijuana. And Carnival's had a marijuana policy in effect, which was no marijuana on board Carnival cruise ships, because Carnival, while legal in many states, is still illegal at sea. But if you've been on a Carnival cruise over the last several years, you probably know that marijuana smell is usually filling the cruise ship. Just about everywhere you go, you'll always smell it somewhere. And for me, it's just not an option. I personally don't like the marijuana smell. Well, going into spring break, as spring breakers start traveling on board Carnival, Christine Duffy, president of Carnival Cruise Lines, put out this statement that I'm going to show you right now, and then we're going to come back and tell you how they're enforcing this new rule.
Hi. I'm Christine Duffy, president of Carnival Cruise Line, with an important message for our guests. We've all seen the news coverage and social media posts of people behaving badly. It's happening in stores, restaurants, at sporting events, in schools, on airplanes, in theme parks, and yes, on cruise ships too. As the cruise line that sails more children and families than any other, I want to share with you the steps that we have taken to ensure that our guests have a safe, fun, and great vacation on board. My colleagues and I have been reviewing and updating security procedures, providing additional training to our crew, and enhancing guest communications to support the behaviors we expect on our ships. All of our ships have had more security personnel added, and we've introduced narcotic sniffing dogs at home ports to screen luggage on both a routine and random basis. So our guests shouldn't be surprised if they even see dogs come on board at both our home ports and destination outports to make random searches. Illegal drugs, including marijuana, on cruise ships and in cruise terminals is prohibited. And in case there's any confusion, let me remind guests that while marijuana and cannabis products may be legal in some states, we are required to follow federal law, irrespective of the law in the state where you may be boarding your ship. For guests using medical marijuana, you should consult with your physician about an alternative therapy during your cruise, as marijuana, as I said, is prohibited and will be confiscated. All guests must now acknowledge and commit to our code of conduct during the check-in process. So whether it's smoking, illegal substances, or disruptive behavior, there are consequences in place for those who do not comply, including fines, being confined to your cabin, or being removed from the ship and banned from sailing in the future. We've also implemented a youth curfew, and I've even called in the big guy. And by that, I mean our Chief Fun Officer, Shaq O'Neill, to help us get the message out. In addition to the new signage that we've put in the terminals and on the ship, you'll see a series of video messages from Shaq on your stateroom TVs, reminding guests of our policies and our collective responsibility to have fun and be safe. Details on all safety and security policies are included in our ticket contract, which you should review prior to booking. We know how to show our guests a great cruise experience, And our ships are full of fun-loving guests. That's why we're so successful and why guests keep coming back. So please help us make sure your Carnival vacation is safe, fun, and memorable by respecting each other, our crew, and the ocean. Now, with all that said, let the fun begin. Thank you for your support.
So that's the statement that Christine Duffy put out regarding smoking marijuana on board the cruise ship and bad behavior in general. And I'm here to tell you that Carnival has put those rules into effect. Passengers are noticing at select ports, at random, there are now drug-sniffing dogs, sniffing people, your carry-ons, and even beyond the scenes in your checked baggages as they board the cruise ship. If you're caught bringing marijuana on board, they are denying boarding. They're not just taking the marijuana away, and they're also, in some cases, turning it over to authorities for prosecution. So if you're planning on bringing marijuana on board a cruise ship, specifically Carnival, now is not the time to do it. I know a lot of you find this unfair since it's legal in a lot of states. Let's face it, there's 18 states right now where it is totally legal to smoke marijuana anywhere for leisure purposes, another 20 states where it's legal for medicinal purposes, and the rest illegal. So odds are you come from a state where it's totally legal. The reason why Carnival put this rule into effect is really simple, is because marijuana is still illegal at a federal level, which makes it illegal to bring it on board the cruise ship. Smoking really has been taking a back turn on Carnival for a long time. You'll find smaller smoking areas and more designated areas throughout the ship, particularly people like me who smoke cigars. You can't even smoke a cigar in the casino any longer. So it's really a downturn in general for smoking, but particularly marijuana, which has seen a ban. And just a fun fact, why marijuana is becoming legal here in the United States, it's still illegal in Jamaica. Can you imagine that? Let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Should it be allowed? Should it not be allowed? I'm really curious what you think. I'll see you next time right here on the Destinations channel.